Every Saturday morning, my grandfather would load me up in his Jeep four-wheel drive pickup that would have been new in about 1960, and we would always have something that we had to accomplish that day. You know, sometimes it may take 3 or 4 hours, sometimes it'd take 6 or 7 hours, but it was funny. If my hair was just a little bit too long, we'd stop at the barber shop on the way, because Mr. Wise would be there at 6 o'clock on Saturday morning, who was a friend of my grandfather's, and you'd get a haircut before you went to the Grove.
For generations, the Hancock family has been part of Florida citrus. Long before Ned Hancock became a grower, a leader, and an advocate for the industry, he was simply a young boy riding beside his grandfather through the groves.
And the other one that I really remember is Dad had bought a piece of land that had some old seedling orange trees. But it also had a small grove on it that was Hamels, but the seedlings always got left. So he told my 2 cousins and I that we could pick them, put them in the back of the truck, and there was a place in Wauchula you could take it, and they'd dump them out, and they'd give us the money. And we thought we were going to be rich. You know, we were 14 or 15 years old. So at the end of the day, with our skills as fruit pickers, I think we'd made $25 split 3 ways. But there was just something about that was the one thing that I found that I could kind of do, that I really enjoyed being outside. I really enjoyed the people that were in the industry, and I guess my earliest memories are just the people, really. We just got great people and a history of great people in this industry.
Well, the most important thing about Ned is he's a good man, and he's a strong family man. He's strong in the industry. He's been willing to help out, whether it's with CRDF, whether it was serving as the chair of the commission, whether it was on our board. He's willing to ask tough questions. He's willing to press thought leaders on how things go, whether it's, the vice president from the University of Florida, whether it's during mutual meetings, during commission meetings. He's willing to say things that maybe others are reluctant to say. He's willing to probe those questions, because everyone knows that he's not in it for himself. I was recently riding with him, and we were in rural Hardee County, and he was talking about that his family had had property there for over 100 years. And so he understands that things change, evolve, there's opportunities, there's challenges, and I think that he sees this as his ability to kind of leave a legacy for the industry and for his family, and he's very interested in what he's going to leave for his 3 daughters.
Throughout his career, Ned understood that citrus is more than trees and fruit, it's people. Whether serving on grower organizations, research boards, cooperative leadership teams, or industry committees, he consistently stepped forward when the industry needed leadership. Not because it benefited him personally, but because he believed Florida citrus succeeds only when growers work together.
So I always felt like it was something that we were kind of called to do when there's, if you have the opportunity, and then you need to step up. That's kind of, to me, is why we have been as successful over the 100 years.
We're very fortunate to have Ned in Highlands County, because Ned kind of embodies both the past, the present, and the future, the industry. He's very enthusiastic about the possibilities.
One thing I'll say about Ned Hancock is you get him in a meeting, he's definitely going to say what's on his mind, and he's definitely going to be sure that everybody understands where he stands. He's been a great asset to the fight. He's been a very big part of the things that have occurred. And I know he's spent time on Mutual, he's spent time on the CRDF board, spent time on DOC, and just been a great asset for the Florida citrus industry. As you know, I've always been very optimistic, and Ned is the same way. And Ned probably has more in it than I do. He's got a personal investment into this industry, and it will take someone like Ned to continue on and to continue the growth within this industry.
I think the direct systemic injection has been the real reason that there's optimism right now within the industry. Because we've got to be able to keep our existing trees productive. I think if we could ever get to back to 20 million boxes, that would give us a strong enough foothold, and somehow we've got to get to 300 boxes an acre again. In the 80s, when everybody was planting groves, it was fun. And that kind of expansion down in our area, and I was down in LaBelle for a lot of that era working, and I saw what some of those guys were doing. I saw how much, and I can still remember Ed Smoke telling me, he said, "Ned, this is better than Christmas." I said, "Look, he said, I never thought I'd get to plant this many acres of grove and see what they do." And he was so excited because, when he started, it was all mature trees and you're just going to keep doing what you do. Well, all of a sudden he was designing them. He was just what varieties, what rootstocks. He got to see them grow. He got to see all that. And he's right. That's the fun part of this industry. Yeah, I've got it going. It's every day you go out there and you see something that's just really amazing. That hadn't been the case the last several years. So I'm ready for that wheel to turn over and us get back to that part of the citrus industry.
For generations, the Hancock family has helped shape Florida citrus. Through service, leadership, and an unwavering belief in the future, Ned Hancock has carried that legacy forward. The Florida citrus industry proudly recognizes Ned Hancock as the 2026 Citrus Achievement Award recipient.